From Langhorse Field on the campus of Elmhurst College, Elmhurst men's soccer on Blue Jay TV. Luke Tanaka delighted to bring you all the action. We're just moments away from getting underway here at Langhorse Field. The second of our doubleheader. In the first game, the Elmhurst women's team fell to Illinois Wesleyan 2-1. As you see the players currently walking towards midfield. We're going to get the starting lineups in just a minute. Blue Jays coming in with a record of 9-3-3, 2-1-1 in the CCIW, third place in the conference. Illinois Wesleyan 7-10 on the season, 1-4 in the conference. Now, let's turn it over to the PA announcer Kevin Jude for today's starting lineups.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Elmhurst College at Langhorse Field for tonight's CCIW men's soccer matchup featuring the visiting Illinois Wesleyan University Titans and your Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Before we begin, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the Titans. Starting in goal, number 1, Eric Eklund. Number 2, Carlo Fava. Number 5, Colin Rafe. Number 6, Drake Leary. Number 15, Eric Gilbert. Number 17, David Myers. Number 18, Mitch Bilmack. Number 20, Connor Allen. Number 23, Brian Moorfield. Number 24, Colin Frost. And number 25, J.J. Slumba. The Titans are coached by Kyle Schulz and enter today's game with an overall record of 7-10. And now, the starting lineups for your Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Starting in goal, number 0, John Regland. Number 3, Andrew Moore. Number 5, Christian Mullen. Number 9, Andrew Witzowski. Number 10, Brett Stifler. Number 11, Mike Emig. Number 14, Michael DeLong. Number 21, Brad Yarwood. Number 22, Scott Johnson. Number 23, Jeff Kading. And number 30, Josh Rudd. The Blue Jays are coached by Dave DiTomaso. Elmhurst enters tonight's game with an overall record of 9-3-3. Our officials for this evening's contest, Greg Dopka, Sergio Alvarez, and Josh Egan's.
So there you have it, starting lineups for today's game between the Blue Jays and the Titans. Blue Jays third in the conference, as I mentioned before. We went away there for just a brief minute. With a record of 2-1-1 in the conference, 9-3-3 overall. North Park currently sitting at number 1 in the conference. They are currently leading Augustana in Rock Island. Actually, excuse me, they're trailing Augustana right now in Rock Island in the final 10 minutes of that game. Augustana leads 3-2 in that one. Also some other action around the CCIW. Wheaton, who's second in the conference, with a 3-1 record, is currently leading North Central 5-1 in Naperville. Elsewhere around the CCIW, North Central 2-2 in the conference, going to fall to 3-2 after, or 2-3, excuse me, after that loss to Wheaton. Carthage plays Milliken tonight at home. Carthage 2-3 and 5th in the conference. Milliken 1-3, 7th in the conference. Augustana checks in at 6th, 1-2-1 with the win. That would be a huge win for them over the top team in the CCIW, North Park, currently undefeated, and Illinois Wesleyan right here at Langhorse Field on the left in the green, 1-4 in the CCIW, sitting at 8th. So Illinois Wesleyan in the green, going from left to right, and for Elmhurst in the white, going from right to left. Elmhurst will kick off in just a minute, getting the okays from the referee. Before we get started, there is the whistle, and we are underway. Elmhurst, as they always do, testing the Illinois Wesleyan defense off the kickoff, kicking it deep to gain possession and move forward. Wesleyan wearing some striped jerseys today. Green is the main color, some white stripes on the jersey. Almost an appearance of a black stripe as well, but there is no black stripe. Blue Jays in the all-white today. Here's Mike Emig. Emig, one of the top scorers for the Blue Jays. Brett Stifler currently has the ball now, 5 goals on the season, leading the team. Michael DeLong, second on the team with 4 goals, and Emig, third on the team, number 11, with 3. That was Scott Johnson on the far side, pushing down Illinois Wesleyan's Eric Gilbert. Johnson winning the throw-in and looking for Emig. Throw-in goes too far, but the ball goes back over the end line, and they'll have another chance at the throw-in. Whistle's blown. Referee pushing him back, but the starting goalkeepers in this contest for Elmhurst, it's John Reglin. And Reglin, arguably and statistically, the best goalkeeper in the CCIW. Having a fantastic season. 0.39 goals against average. It looks like we're going to have a throw-in on the far side. It's going to be Jeff Kading taking it, and Kading will be able to put this one into the box. Lots of tall targets in the area, including Brad Yarwood, tallest target on the field, number 21, playing right next to the line. Here's the long throw-in. It bounces dangerously in the box and then is eventually cleared by the Illinois Wesleyan defense and Cullen Frost. Here's Christian Mullen. Mullen putting one towards DeLong, now towards Stifler, and he's offside. Stifler got behind the defense, but it was from an offside position. Nice ball in by Mullen. But it'll give a chance for the Illinois Wesleyan goalkeeper in the yellow today, Eric Eklund. Played 10 games for the Titans, a 1.77 goals against average, and 1 shutout. As we mentioned, John Reglin, one of the best goalkeepers in the CCIW, leads the conference in goals against average with 0.39. Leads the conference in save percentage, saving 92% of the shots he faces. Second in the conference in saves per game, just behind Milliken's Daniel St. Clair, Reglin with 4.6 saves per game. As Wesleyans will control defensively. This is Carlo Fava looking up for Connor Allen. Allen lost it for a second, and then pass was eventually picked up by Witzowski, but the clearing attempt is blocked right off an Illinois Wesleyan defender and then right off the referee. Allen to the far side. Ball is sent across into the box, and Reglin lost his balance there for a second. Thought it might have gotten off a Illinois Wesleyan player, but instead just streaks all the way through the box and ends up over the far end line. So John Reglin, number 0, one of the better goalkeepers in the conference, facing off against Eric Eklund. Reglin's kick is short. Headed in the air by Allen and then down by Stifler. Ball still bouncing high in the air. We got about 6 or 7 headers in a row there. Now Kading controlling on the near side. Kading swallowed up by a couple of defenders, but gets it back to his fellow defender Mullen. Emig tried to keep that one in, but could not do so. It looks like the quick restart was limited by the referee. So Wesleyan will play back to the defense. Mitch Billimack back there. Now Eric Gilbert looking for Fava. Couldn't find him, but got the ball back. Here's Gilbert once again, dribbling towards the middle. Brian Moorfield. Give and go attempt, not there. Cleared by the Elmhurst defense, but Illinois Wesleyan doing a very good job of getting on the Blue Jays early in this game. Illinois Wesleyan certainly the underdog in this contest, Elmhurst being the favorite. Third in the conference, 2-1-1 record. Illinois Wesleyan just one of 2 teams in the CCIW with an under 500 record overall. Illinois Wesleyan 7-10 overall. Milliken is 6-1-7 overall. They're the other under 500 team, but with a win at Carthage today, Milliken would move to 500 on the season. They play Carthage in Kenosha, 7 p.m. kickoff there. Couple of scores around the CCIW. We're keeping a tab on that North Park Augustana game because Augustana, sure, North Park heavily favored at 4-0 in the conference. Augustana leading North Park 3-2 in that one. Heading into the latter minutes of that game. Now here's Mike Emig. Emig with not a lot of help. Now passes back. Josh Rudd looking for DeLong, couldn't find him. The defense converged well. And Wesleyan will be able to control and bring it up. This is Eric Gilbert on the far side. Gilbert has a runner down the far sideline, and he has him. Trying to scream it towards the middle. Bunch of players collide. Kading falls down. A Wesleyan player falls down, and then it's eventually cleared by Brad Yarwood. Good defense by the Blue Jays there. That one's booted way up and all the way to John Reglan. So keeping a tab on that Augustana North Park score. We're also looking at Wheaton and North Central, which has now just gone final. Wheaton 5, North Central 1. So Wheaton moves to 4-1 in conference play, 14-3 overall, and they'll be tied if the score holds in Rock Island. They will be tied with North Park for first in the conference. As we mentioned, this is the second game, the doubleheader today. Elmhurst women's soccer fell to Illinois Wesleyan earlier today, 2-1. It was a very solid performance from the Blue Jays, playing against the heavily favored Titans, but 72nd minute goal sealed that Titan win. It was the game winner after the Blue Jays equalized just about 15 minutes before that. That ball's lifted all the way to John Reglan. Reglan catches and will have a chance to clear. Reglan rolling the ball out in front of him before booting it away. DeLong got a head on it, but it bounced straight in the air. Missed on by Kading. Then played back to the Titan defense. Lots of energy here from Connor Allen. Now running into Kading, and they both fall down. Reglan almost hit J.J. Slomba with that clearing attempt. That could have been dangerous, but Reglan did indeed avoid him. And now this is Josh Rudd on the far side, hitting it right into Eric Gilbert. So Illinois Wesleyan continuing to control most of the possession. Now here's Michael DeLong. DeLong moving towards the middle. Gets stopped up by one Illinois Wesleyan defender, and then the ball is cleared by another all the way out to around midfield and Andrew Witzowski. Christian Mullen being pressured by Slomba and then gives the ball away. Pass intended for Kading. But pass was well off the mark. Blue Jays leading attackers, leading point getters on the season. Brett Stifler, 11 points, 5 goals and 1 assist. Nice play by Andrew Moore there to keep the ball in. Now the ball is lifted up for Emig. Emig got tangled up with a Titan defender. That was David Myers. Now the ball is deep for Josh Rudd, playing right mid for the Blue Jays. Just one attacker on the field right now for the Blue Jays. It's Emig. But a lot of midfield help, as there are about 4 midfielders that'll play up. Rudd, DeLong, Moore, and Stifler all in the offensive area. This is Scott Johnson. Taken by Rudd, deflected by Moore, but then headed away by the Wesleyan defense, and then back in by Moore. Here's Josh Rudd on the far side, looking to swing one into the box. He does. It's headed away by David Myers. Then put back into the box and once again headed away by the Titans. Here's Witzowski playing back, trying to reset the offense here. It's given back to Mullen. Mullen lifting forward. DeLong is offside. Second offsides on the Blue Jays. And Eric Eklund will have the chance to get it away. Connor Allen chasing after, but Mullen's going to get there first. Mullen in the corner, not a lot of options to go to. He'll try to go down the line, but it'll get a leak over the sideline for Connor Allen to win a throw-in that will be taken by Drake Leary. Leary, a 5'9", 180-pound junior from Naperville. Going to throw this all the way into the box. It'll be a first real test for John Regland so far in this game. Leary's deep throw-in. Regland stays on his line, and it's headed away by a Blue Jay, but headed back in by a Illinois Wesleyan player. Another shot taken, and a save by Regland. What a nice save by John Regland. The second attempt was by J.J. Slomba on the near side. Regland sprawling out and able to make the save. It's a first test for John Regland, and he passes it with flying colors, making that save. But the Blue Jay defense unable to get the clearing attempt as Illinois Wesleyan had 3 or 4 chances to swing at that one. This one will go for naught as it is offsides. Final from Rock Island, Augustana 3, North Park 2. Huge upset in the CCIW. So essentially that means now there's a 2-way tie for first in the conference. Wheaton and North Park will tie for first with 4-1, identical 4-1 records. Elmhurst heads to North Park. We'll play them in Chicago this week. So that will certainly be a huge game for seeding purposes in the CCIW tournament, as Elmhurst plays 2 of the better teams in the conference, Carthage and North Park, next week. This one a big one for Elmhurst. If they want to really solidify a good chance at the CCIW tournament and perhaps even a better seed. Illinois Wesleyan, it's a big one for them too. If they lose this game, they are mathematically eliminated from CCIW tournament contention. This is going to be a long throw-in by Drake Leary. Looking to head it on was Slomba. It is headed on by Allen instead, and then cleared away by the Blue Jays. So the Titans, lots of good early possession, lots of good early chances. About 15 minutes into the game, here's Elmhurst on the counter. DeLong has a couple of options. He's going to hit Emig. Emig's all alone. One-on-one with the keeper. Emig shoots, and he scores. Yes, he scores. It was deflected by Eric Eklund and then just kind of hung around there for a while, rolling and rolling, one rotation at a time until it eventually found the net. 4th goal of the season for Emig. It's DeLong on the assist, and they got to do a little jig together in celebration. Emig and DeLong both looked puzzled as that ball kept rolling into the net, and Emig was kind of waiting to celebrate, I guess, before it finally crossed the line, and the Blue Jays jumping all over the Titans. It's 1-0. So although the Titans have had the majority of the possession and the majority of the chances, the scoreboard reads 1-0 Elmhurst, as it was just one counter. Pass from DeLong, beautifully done for the speedy Mike Emig. And when you get Emig in space, one-on-one with the keeper, he's a real good bet to score. DeLong is tripped up by Brian Moorfield. And Elmhurst will have a free kick from a fairly dangerous position, 35 yards out, straight on. So Mike Emig, 4th goal on the season. DeLong with his 3rd assist.
Elmhurst goal scored by number 11, Mike Emig, assisted by number 14, Michael DeLong.
So DeLong, 11 points now on the season, tied for the team lead. Emig has 10. Kading's lifted into the box. Here's another shot. It's ricocheted around and scored by Stifler. We're going to check who exactly scored that one. There was 3 players in the area, and it's Brad Yarwood who gets credit for the goal. That was a very dangerous ball lifted by Emig. The initial header bounced off the keeper, Eric Eklund. And then it was eventually cleaned up by a slew of Blue Jays. So 2 really good chances for the Blue Jays and 2 goals. 2-0 Elmhurst. Just about 15 minutes in. Elmhurst jumping all over the Titans. Stifler playing back for Kading. Back to Stifler once again, and then over towards Witsowski. Pass was a little long, and Witsowski just had to slide it towards the far side. It's a very beautiful night out here in Elmhurst, an extremely warm day. I believe we were even in the 70s. As that one is taken away by Rudd. That was a bad pass by one of the Titan defenders, but it will go for naught. Elmhurst coaching staff not very happy with Emig's tap back pass that was well short of Rudd, trying to get a give and go and a potential shot attempt. Emig for DeLong. DeLong with some space. DeLong spinning around, looking for a shot, hits it with his left foot, and it's just wide. So officially, Yarwood's goal is unassisted. It was his header that hit off of Eric Eklund, the Illinois Wesleyan goalkeeper, and then he was the one to put his own rebound home. So Yarwood unassisted, Emig from DeLong, 2-0 Blue Jays. Looking to add on, here's a corner kick, it comes short. Kading has lots of space. Kading's going to put one into the box, it's deflected, straight up in the air. Kading still battling for it. Now Rudd with a shot, but it's a foul on Elmhurst. So the shot does not count, just a foul on the Blue Jays. Emig coming over to wreak havoc. Drake Leary will put it in the air. That ball is going to bounce all the way to John Regland. It's Yarwood's first of the season, first points of the season for Yarwood. Always a tall target in the box. That's usually who they'll aim for. If they want to put a free kick in there, they found him, they found his head, and then he found the goal on the rebound. So with just under 28 minutes to go in this first half, Elmhurst jumping all over the Titans. It's 2-0. Josh Rudd. Now Elmhurst controlling more of the possession, perhaps loosened up after that first goal, and then even more so after the second one. That ball is going to be played all the way to Regland. Regland will scoop it up. Instead, actually just leave it at his feet, and now once he gets a little pressure from Slamba, he'll fake the pickup and then pick it up. Regland's kick goes high in the air, intended for Scott Johnson, but now Illinois Wesleyan with an interesting opportunity. Far side, that's Brian Moorfield. Ends up getting tripped up and loses possession to a Blue Jay throw-in. So with the win, Augustana win over North Park. They propel themselves back into some discussion for the fourth spot in the CCIW tournament. Now alone in fourth place in the conference. However, if Carthage wins, then they will be tied at fourth. Pass towards the middle. Slamba brings it down. Slamba tries to take a left-footed shot and is unable to do so. Whiffed on the shot, but the Titans looking ever dangerous early in this first half. That one's deflected off of Scott Johnson. The throw-in will come from the far side. Colin Frost looking like he's going to be the one to take it. I can only imagine this one will go all the way into the box. It's short, actually. Slamba takes it. Slamba pressured by a couple of Blue Jay defenders and then loses possession. Josh Rudd and Andrew Witzowski with the pressure to get the Blue Jays possession back. It looks like our first sub will be coming into the game pretty soon. Not on this throw-in, but in just a little bit he's starting to line up. And it looks like a new goalkeeper as well for the Titans will be coming in just a minute. I can only imagine it's Mark Streed. Streed has played 8 games this year to the current goalie Eric Eklund's 10, and so kind of been switching in and out keepers, perhaps just moving with the hot hand. And after 2 early goals by the Blue Jays, they're going to try Street's hand out there, see what he can do. We're stopping the clock now as Slamba perhaps he got hit in the face. Looks like he was holding his back briefly. But now it looks like at least one substitution will be made on the injury. It's going to be Jimmy Connolly, number 10, the junior from Hickory Hills, Illinois, coming in to replace Slamba. And they're going to be unable to replace the goalkeepers at this time, as it's just an injury substitution with the clock stopped just about halfway through this first half. So a little, perhaps some turf cleanup coming from the Elmhurst coaching staff, and trainer Joe Mattingly's out there as well. Probably got hit in the face, perhaps a bloody nose or something in the mouth or something, and so they're cleaning up the turf briefly. And while they're doing that, we'll once again run through the CCIW scoreboard for the day. Big story, Augustana at home taking the win over the undefeated North Park Vikings. 3-2 the final in that one. Wheaton also victorious today over North Central, which means North Park and Wheaton tied atop the conference. Elmhurst sitting at third in the conference, and Augustana now sitting at fourth after their win. Later today, Milliken will face Carthage, 7 p.m. start in Kenosha. Some CCIW leaders on the season. Stephen Goals leading, one of the top attackers in the conference, leading in total shots. Matt Koth of North Central still leads the conference in points with 28. Leading goal scorer in the conference is Tommy Masola from North Park. Back to the action now as we're underway after the turf cleanup, as Christian Mullen will lift one way out of here and up into the bleachers. And now we will get the substitution. Eric Eklund, the goalkeeper, is done after just about 25 minutes of play, not even. 20 minutes of play for Eklund, and he is being replaced by Mark Street. So Street in for Eklund in goal for Illinois Wesleyan, as the Titans coaching staff trying to shake things up, trailing 2-0. Back to the conference leaders. Stephen Goals also one of the top goal scorers in the conference with 10. In this game, the top offensive player, Brett Stifler, has 5 goals on the season, tied for 6th in conference play. That one's lifted forward. Is Illinois Wesleyan be able to track it down? No. Colin Wraith running down the near sideline, unable to catch up to that one, and Reglan will once again boot it away, perhaps trying to make it a little more convincing this time. As for assists, 3 players in the CCIW tied with 6 assists on the season. Matt Koth, Jordan Goals, and Mar Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth and Goals both for Wheaton. Matt Koth for North Central. Stephen Goals also leading the conference in game-winning goals. Half of his 10 goals have gone for game winners. Then when you get to the defensive side and the goalkeeping side, you got to look straight at this Elmhurst team. John Reglan saving 92% of the shots he faces, only giving up 6 total goals on the season. Obviously with much help from his defense. Second in the conference in saves with 69 total saves. As here's another opportunity for the Blue Jays. Coming out is Street. His first play of the game is a good one, limiting the Blue Jay opportunity. Eric Eklund, the goalkeeper who left the game just a few moments ago, is actually third in the conference in saves. 15 behind Reglan with 54. Blue Jays controlling with the defense, so we'll continue with some more. Reglan 8 shutouts to lead all CCIW goaltenders. That ball is lifted high. If it got over the defender, Rudd was wide open heading for the goal. Here's Witzowski on the far side. Witzowski will play towards Scott Johnson. Then ball's taken away by Illinois Wesleyan, and now given right back. Johnson looking up for Rudd. Rudd to the middle of the field, and Witzowski looking to reverse field. Will do so by finding Kading on the near side, and then Kading lifting it all the way back across once again towards Josh Rudd. Rudd looking for a streaking Scott Johnson, but could not find him, and instead will concede possession, and Illinois Wesleyan will have yet another sub. Connor Allen will head out. Number 9, John Pisani, the forward, 6-foot senior from New Berlin, is in the game. Couple of players battling for it near midfield. It'll eventually get kicked all the way down and then roll to the feet of Reglan, who will play it to his defender in Mullen. Elmhurst content to play lots of possession game here. They've converted on both scoring opportunities thus far in the game. Lifting it up towards nobody was Jimmy Connolly. Perhaps looking for a streaking player, a teammate on the far side. Just hit it a little too far to the right for him. Reglan will once again boot it away with a goal kick. Our officials today, Greg Dobka, Sergio Alvarez, and Josh Agins. Dobka in the middle. Alvarez on the far sideline and Agins on the near sideline. Reglan, after brushing off the turf, takes this one. Headed on by Yarwood. Stifler flips it forward looking for Emig, and he found him. Emig trying to get around his defender towards the far side, cuts back in and gets tripped up. Ball's still in play, and it's cleared away by the Titans' Brian Moorfield. So Illinois Wesleyan will try a counter. That pass was way behind its intended target. Andrew Moore now controlling back to his defense, and Kading. Witzowski, Kading playing catch, and then back to Mullen. Stifler stretched for that one, but couldn't stretch far enough. But Mullen will clear it back upfield. Lots of middle third possession for both teams ever since both Elmhurst goals were scored. Hasn't been a lot of time. Emig brushes off his defender. Now has some space. Here's Mike Emig. Emig looking for Josh Rudd. Couldn't quite find him. And it will be a corner and another one for the Blue Jays. Second corner of the game for Elmhurst. 3 shots for the Blue Jays, all 3 of them on goal. 2 shots for Illinois Wesleyan, both of them on goal. The scoreboard 2-0 Elmhurst. Stifler is going to take this corner kick. Elmhurst offensive players congregating near the far side of the box, now streaking in. Rudd will take it short. He'll be hit back to Stifler, and Stifler will lift it towards the far post. Andrew Moore is there, but it's won by the Titans and then lifted away and cleared by Illinois Wesleyan. Scott Johnson lifting it forward, looking for DeLong. Couldn't find it, but Stifler ended up with it. Stifler has Kading on the near side. He'll take it. Kading looking for Andrew Moore. Moore looking for options. Doesn't have very many, but finds DeLong on the near side. DeLong lifting it up towards the box. Rudd's there. There's another shot, and it's a goal. Christian Mullen. Christian Mullen from Michael DeLong, 3-0 Blue Jays. Christian Mullen's second of the season off the pass from DeLong. DeLong's second assist of the game. And that puts DeLong into sole first possession for most points on the Elmhurst team with 12. It's his fourth assist on the year. That also puts him into first in total assists, 2 clear of anybody else. So Michael DeLong spreading the wealth today. First finds Emig for Elmer's first goal, now finding Mullen for the third goal. The Blue Jays with a very comfortable 3-0 lead over 17 minutes to play in this first half. Three goals matches Elmhurst's second highest total of the season. They beat LaGrange College 3-0 on the road in Georgia earlier this season. Their highest scoring output came in a win over Milliken on October 17th. It was a 4-0 win in Decatur. That'll be a foul on Josh Rudd, and Wesleyan will have a free kick. Four new subs looking to come in for the Blue Jays. Now here's an Illinois Wesleyan chance, getting interesting, but couldn't quite catch up with it. That was John Pisani. And now a Blue Jay line change coming in. Looks like all the forwards will head out, be replaced by new forwards. Rudd, DeLong, Moore, and Emig all out. Fletcher, Garnett, Ryan Bigby, and one more Elmhurst Blue Jay into the game. We'll get you that name in just a second. It's number 20, Nick Fetchy. Mullen heading it away, but not very convincingly. Controlled by Illinois Wesleyan and Eric Gilbert. Gilbert still controlling, battling with Scott Johnson on the far side. Gets around Johnson, now looking to put it into the box. He does. It's a shot, and is it in? No, it's not. Wow, that was close. That was a shot by John Pisani, number 9, that went off the post. And essentially just hung around the net for a while. I thought it went in, but it must have just crossed the face of goal. So the corner comes in. It's a short corner. Now another ball going to be swung into the box. It's headed down by a Blue Jay, but it's right to another Illinois Wesleyan player. Shot is blocked. Fletcher will eventually clear it away to get rid of all the chaos. That was Colin Wraith on the shot, senior from Deer Park, Illinois. And now another corner coming from Alex White. White, a freshman from Bloomington, hometown kid going to Illinois Wesleyan. White's corner is in. It's a header shot, and it's saved by the team. Header saved by the Elmhurst defense. It was Jordan Fletcher. No chance for John Regland to stop that header shot, and Jordan Fletcher got ahead on it to get it away. Well positioned by the coaching staff, and nice play by Fletcher to keep Illinois Wesleyan out of the net and keep the shutout alive. 13:30 to go in this first half. 3-0 Blue Jays. Well, if you're Illinois Wesleyan, offensively, certainly have to be impressed, as there's been plenty of chances. Lots of scoring opportunities. Kading rips this one forward. intended for Bigby originally. Bigby gets tripped up, but loses possession to an Illinois Wesleyan throw-in. Kading gets around one player, then has it taken away, and it's kept in nicely by Connolly. Connolly dribbling through defenders, falls down as he runs into Jeff Kading. But that pass is picked off. Here's another interesting opportunity for Illinois Wesleyan. Eric Gilbert on the far side couldn't quite get a shot off. Pleading with the referee for a foul on Fetchy, still pleading. Absolutely beside himself that there was not a call. But it will be a corner kick from the far side. It's going to be Drake Leary, the one to take it. Stopping the clock now, as it looks like the referee will give a stern talking to somebody. It's going to be Witzowski. I don't see a card, so just a talking to Gilbert and Witzowski. Perhaps chatting it up amongst all the players in the box. Referee putting a stop to that very quickly. Leary's corner comes in. Off a couple of heads. Here's Witzowski. Pushed off the ball, but then wins the throw-in either way. Colin Wraith, Illinois Wesleyan players pleading with the officials for multiple calls. They just have not gone their way in the last couple minutes. Bigby battling for the header, couldn't win it. Headed over the sideline by Stifler. Substitution coming in for the Titans now. Carlo Fava will head out. It looks like number 19, Robert Spenard, is going to be the one in. Spenard, a 5'8", 160-pound junior from Syracuse, New York. Leary thought about the short throw-in, but will instead take a long one. It's going towards the near post. Headed once and then away and then back in by another play. It was back in by Alex White. And Wesleyan couldn't get another shot off from there. Looking for the far side, this is Eric Gilbert. Passing back to his defense, but now back in once again. Here's another opportunity for Illinois Wesleyan. Faked the shot, then took a shot that was blocked. Drake Leary in on that one. And another sub for the Titans. Just over 10 minutes to play in this first half. Eric Gilbert will head out, number 15. Not 100% sure who came in. We'll get you that name in just a minute. Headed by Witzowski, but it was across the face of goal. Still in the box, and Reglan will finally put an end to all the craziness by gobbling it up. Reglan shanks his kick over the near sideline, and everybody will have to move back into Elmhurst's defensive half. Looks like number 13, Dino Karas, is the one that came in. So he's playing in Gilbert's spot, left mid. Ryan Bigby trying to be the first one to get there. Nice play by the defender, though, Mitch Billimack. John Pisani's pass. But his intended target was tripped up. So Elmhurst able to control briefly before losing it over the far sideline for another Illinois Wesleyan throw-in. Now Fetchy looking to restart quickly, and he will instead take his time, passing it back to Jeff Kading, who will take this throw-in instead. Here's J.D. Garnett losing the ball to the Titan defense. Picked off once again by Witzowski, and then unable to control it were the Blue Jays. Flicked on header Mullen thought about taking it, but after 4 years of playing with John Reglan, he knew that Reglan had that one. Faking the pickup and then picking it up eventually is Reglan. Just over 8 minutes to go in this first half. Blue Jays leading 3-0. First goal, Mike Emig from Michael DeLong in the 13th minute. Then just 2 minutes later, check that, the 14th minute, 2 minutes later in this, 1 minute later, in the 15th minute, Yarwood scored, unassisted. And then Christian Mullen from DeLong. DeLong's second assist of the game. Put the Blue Jays up 3-0. Here's Andrew Witzowski with lots of space. Defenders close in on him, but Witzowski keeps it, passing it off to Nick Fetchy. Fetchy looking to spring Bigby. Bigby battling with the defender. With a nice play by Billimack. Stop him and clear it upfield. Regling it, just tapping it to himself. Bouncing it once and twice and 3 times, and now is ready to kick it away. It's about the 3rd or 4th kick that Reglin's taken that is just hooked all the way towards the near sideline and over the near sideline. Essentially losing possession. That is indeed where the wind is blowing. It is breezy here today. Elmhurst currently playing against the wind, going from right to left as the wind is coming from the west. Reglan with another goal kick here. Just over 6 minutes to play in this first half. Placing it down ever so delicately and then backing up a couple steps and then sidestepping a few times before booting this one to about midfield, I would think. Gets held up and then it's headed by a Wesleyan player back towards the Elmhurst defensive half. It's Mullen who's able to get it, but then it has it taken away. Lifted into the box, cleared away by Kading. And a corner kick will come for Illinois Wesleyan. John Pisani putting it down and allowing Dino Karas to be the one to take it. Illinois Wesleyan pushing many bodies forward. Just leaving 2 defenders back. Everybody else forward with the left-footed Karas. It comes in. Wesleyan gets a head on it but could not get a shot off. Kading flipping it forward. And now running all the way through a couple defenders and then slide tackling hard. That was Jimmy Connolly, and that's going to be a card for Kading. Check that, it was Spinard who he took down. Spinard got there first, and Kading just took him out with a slide tackle. That'll be a yellow card for Jeff Kading. So the free kick will come from the near side, about 45 yards out, make it 46. Drake Leary to take it. Booted away easily by the Elmhurst defense. That one, not a lot of hang time under, not a lot of time for the Illinois Wesleyan players to get around it and get a shot off. Throw-in comes into the far side. Colin Wraith battling with a couple of players, flipping it into the box, but lots of white shirts in the area. Ryan Bigby had his pass intercepted. Lots of touches for Illinois Wesleyan here. Now eventually a shot that is well wide by John Pisani. Ball came in. Pisani had a couple of touches here. 1, 2, and then 3, and then eventually took a right-footed shot that sailed well wide. Derek Dedman back into the game, replacing Garnett. Dedman perhaps to add a little bit of defense, talking with Witzowski about positioning before Reglan gets us back underway. 4 minutes to play here in this first half. Nice 3-0 cushion for the Blue Jays. Looking to improve to 3-1-1 in conference play. And get a pretty surefire hold on that third spot heading into North Park on Tuesday. But here's Illinois Wesleyan, and that touch probably could have been better from Wraith. But Christian Mullen did well to boot it away. If Wraith brings that down a little closer to himself, he may have a teammate to his left and perhaps a one-on-one with Reglan. Instead, it'll just be a throw-in for the Titans on the far side. Ball into the box, headed away by Witzowski. Kept in by another Titan. Now the shot is ripped on. Just high. Look closer than it really was. Spinard took the shot that hit off the bottom part of the football upright and into the top netting. It looked like the ball was a little too deep the whole way, a little too high. The deflection off the crossbar and the football crossbar made it a little bit closer. Stifler gets ahead on that one. Fetchy's in the area too. Stifler once again with the header, and we'll play a little back and forth with the heads here as Dedman does a good job falling down to get it to Kading. Lots of physicality in this game so far. Now Ryan Bigby battling, and he'll win a throw-in on the near side. 2.5 minutes now to play. Kading taking his time, waiting for all the Blue Jays to come up and into the box. Kading couldn't quite get to that one, but it's the clearing attempt to stop by Witzowski. Witzowski tries to take a shot, but is converged on by a couple of Illinois Wesleyan defenders. And now the Titans are out on the break. If they can keep this one in, no, they can't. Very good effort there by Alex White to try to keep that in, but the pass was just a little too much for him to handle. Reglan calling for Kading to get it forward. Stifler controlling, running back towards his defense, and then a handball call that will bring the free kick back for the Titans with 1.5 minutes to play in this first half. Long drive on the free kick. Mullen's able to win the battle with John Pisani. Reglan will boot it away with probably just under 1 minute to play. He'll take his time.
1 minute to play in the half.
The Reglan brushing off the turf, placing the ball ever so perfectly on the 6-yard box line, and then running up to it, here it comes. Flying through the air was Drake Leary, trying to get ahead on that one, and now Stifler has it to Fetchy. A lot of defenders and a lot of congestion around in the middle of the field, and now Ryan Bigby with a little bit more space on the far side. He has Fletcher in the middle. He also has Fetchy right there. Looking perhaps for Brett Stifler, but the pass was kind of in between Stifler and Fletcher. And here's Dedman losing it, and then I think he probably got a foot in on Colin Wraith, and so with ticking down under 10 seconds to play, referee will talk with the Titan players before the half expires. So that's the first half. Elmhurst with 3 goals. 14th minute, Mike Emig from Michael DeLong. 15th minute, Brad Yarwood unassisted, and then 28th minute, Christian Mullen also from Michael DeLong. That's the first half of action, and we'll be right back with the second half after 15 minutes on Blue Jay TV.
I was born and raised in Taiwan and moved here 9 years ago. I'm always the type of person that wants to hang out with other people and meet new people. And because the Elmhurst environment, everyone is so friendly, that just make me feel really comfortable being here. The very first organization I joined was the Alpha Sigma Phi fraternity, and that opened the gate out for me to join other organizations.
Playing college football 4 years is very tough, but it's also very, very rewarding. Through Fellowship of Christian Athletes at Elmhurst College, I think has really helped me grow because, I wasn't the most outgoing guy in the beginning, but as my time went on, just meeting new people, I've kind of stepped out and became, more of a witness in my faith. I think, Fellowship of Christian Athletes has helped that, and I think Elmhurst College has encouraged that.
Elmhurst College definitely helped me grow, as in it made it clear to what I wanted to do. It definitely helped build me as the person that I am now. Lambda Chi also had, a great significance in that, turning me from a young dude to a gentleman and to a man. And Elmhurst College, definitely the campus, the atmosphere, the culture, the teachers here, the community itself, it was huge. And I think without Elmhurst College, I wouldn't be prepared for the real life.
Well, I think something I'm very passionate about is Habitat for Humanity. So we fundraise lots of money to go down to New Orleans and just help rebuild anywhere we can. Something that the locals there always tell us is just make sure you tell the story and make sure everyone back home knows that it's still not okay. And of course I'm getting more mature and stuff, but I think it's the whole community service aspect of my life that has really changed. A lot of my friends I met through Habitat, the more you're involved in, the more you're going to learn and just get to meet lots of people.
Was born in Elmhurst, moved to Wheaton when I was 3 or 4, and came back here for school. I felt that Elmhurst really did give me a chance in knowing what to expect, and it really broke me out of my shell and got me to know people better and to become more involved in general. I have a much broader view, a much greater respect for what else is out there.
One thing I really appreciate about Elmhurst College is the diversity of mindset, both with the students and with the faculty. I had all these constructs of how the world was supposed to work or how the world did work in my head before I came to Elmhurst and before I attended college. And then slowly as I entered the academic world and the social spheres at Elmhurst, I began to realize the multi-dimensional facets of these spheres and how nothing is really as straightforward as you think it to be when you first enter college. And I think that really helped me expand my worldview. Even though we're all so diverse, there are common threads that we may share in our tradition. You find it and it's there.
My Elmhurst experience, it has helped me already grow hugely as a person and be more aware of myself and my beliefs and my values and what I want to do, what I want to be, where I want to go. And I think that my experience here has put me in touch with a lot of people that can help me get there. Even if it is after I graduate, I feel like they're behind me. So I think that that's really a strength that this school has.
Outside of the classroom, I play for the softball team. I am a member of the J-Lights hip hop dance team. And I'm a member of Black Student Union. I know for sure that BSU is very welcoming to new people of all different kind of backgrounds. BSU has helped me to increase my networking skills a lot. It's a small school that can give you the resources of a big school as well as the individual time that you need that only a small school can give you.
I think that we attract so much attention because of the quality of the education we're getting here. They definitely try to bring the professionalism into the classroom. The faculty are incredible and they're still in the business, which is great for music people. It's nice to take classes and take lessons from teachers that are still performing. You know, music is really a universal language. Being in the performing ensembles was one of the great experiences being here.
Being at Elmhurst definitely makes it easier to get involved if you take the initiative to get involved. When I was a first year, I didn't take that step forward until second semester, and I didn't know what to do with myself. But once I took that step forward, people are so welcoming, and it doesn't matter what you want to get involved in. If you want to, they'll let you. And it's with open arms, and it's really easy to, and no one's going to turn you down. And that's what I liked about it so much, and that's what helped me to expand and broaden my horizons with all my different activities.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value, exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important, because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Values really help shape identity. If you really don't understand your values, you're not really understanding a part of who you are.
I was more sheltered until I came here, and Elmhurst has really kind of made me step out of my comfort zone and learn more about what I want to do and what I believe in.
Places like the chaplain's office and the Niebuhr Center for Faith and Action give me safe places where I can go to discuss my faith and to discuss my values with people that I know I trust and people that I know I can count on to influence me and to lead me in the right direction.
You can never be forced out of your faith or forced into a different kind of faith as long as you're at Elmhurst, that you really are given the ability to take your pick and always have encouragement from your peers, never shunned or excluded or pressured into something else. There's always a place for you.
If you believe you're here on this earth for a reason, that's going to affect the way you live your life. That's going to affect the way you treat your academics, the way you treat your social life, the way you look at your future and the goals that you have. Those things seem like really big things, but all of that boils down to the way you live your everyday life.
We value
intellectual excellence, community,
social responsibility,
stewardship,
faith, meaning, and values.
Welcome to the cultural season at Elmhurst College. Elmhurst is a place of values and conviction. We were founded by 19th century reformers who believed in human potential, loved learning, and had standards. More than 140 years later, we still do. We still attract students and teachers who want to think for themselves and act on principles, who challenge and respect one another, who engage, serve, and celebrate our diverse, dynamic, interdependent world. A few years ago, to be clear about things, we wrote down our core values. This year, we asked some of our students what those values mean to them.
Elmhurst College is unique in so many ways.
Here we really do have values, and my professors know the values, and they push me to be those values.
Stewardship and faith and community and service, and it really does bring in kind of a level of just interaction with values that you never got before.
But as you kind of develop yourself over the years, you start to realize these values mean so much more, and you start to uncover the true meaning behind them.
You begin to see equivalencies between your life and the school, and then you discover that you're not just in a place of learning, you're also in a place of growing, you're in a place of maturity and value exactly that, core values.
Intellectual excellence means allowing our minds to grow in ways that we've never thought they could before. It means exploring those new pathways, seeing how we could do things different. It means stepping outside of our box of what we know and what we're comfortable with and taking those risks to really grow and make things better. I think that's really the core of what intellectual excellence is.
The professors set the standard of intellectual excellence, and that rubs off on the students, and I feel like that's rubbed off on me.
You really have to push yourself. So to know that's actually a value here is pretty important, because that's something I value on my own. So if my college values it as well, that means I really belong here.
To say that Elmhurst College values community, I think, is an understatement. I think Elmhurst College is community in so many ways.
Coming to Elmhurst College, a small college, it has to be about community.
It doesn't really matter who you are or where you've come from. Everyone here will just love you for who you are.
The fact that every individual and every unique person is allowed to be in an environment together and learn from each other and grow with each other.
Just the fact that it's smaller and that you form those one-on-one relationships, it encourages like creativity and questioning and all the things I wanted out of my college experience.
Social responsibility means caring for each individual as a person.
There are all these people, and they're all more important than my general happiness as a single person.
You're not only trying to better yourself, but I feel like it also means it's your job that you better your community too.
Knowing that there's something larger than yourself and that you can play a part in making someone else's life better.
Taking what I learned from my family, that others come before me, and translating that into the entire world.
It's really awesome to be in a place where not only are you worrying about academics, but it's also teaching me how to be a better person.
To me, stewardship is just being responsible, really thinking about your actions.
If I'm going to say that, I believe in this philanthropy, I think we should do this, I need to follow through with my actions.
What I found coming to Elmhurst is that there are lots of people that feel the same way. So it was easy to find a group of people who were so engaged in service and so willing to help.
Kind of made me reflect on, what do I value in life? Why am I here? They really did kind of push me to the next level and make me think about that, and I think that I'm a better person for it.
Back from Langhorst Field on the campus of Elmhurst College, Blue Jay men's soccer on Blue Jay TV. My name's Luke Tanaka. Delighted to bring you all the action from Langhorst Field as the Blue Jays currently have a 3-0 lead over the Illinois Wesleyan University Titans. Took just about 15 minutes for the Blue Jays to score all 3 of their goals as Illinois Wesleyan comes out of the halftime fired up and has almost a scoring opportunity, but now Stifler's pass for Emig will go for a nod. It was too far either way, but Emig was offsides on the play. For Elmhurst to start the second half, John Regland in goal, Scott Johnson, Josh Rudd, Andrew Witzowski, Mike Emig, Jeff Kading, Brad Yarwood, Christian Mullen, Brett Stifler, Michael DeLong, and Andrew Moore. The 11 starters for the Blue Jays back in the game as Elmhurst leads 3-0. Andrew Moore is tripped up. No foul called. So he will get up. It looked like he got spiked on the right foot. There's Illinois Wesleyan. And now the referee will indeed give the free kick. Stopping the clock here, as I believe referee's going to have a talking to with the Illinois Wesleyan coach. Kyle Schall's is the head coach. Believe that's who Greg Dobka, middle official, is talking to right now. So what Illinois Wesleyan setting up in a line towards the box. That's 6 players, now 7. 2 players by the ball. Just lots of shirts congested right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Dobka done giving a word to the Illinois Wesleyan coach and will now see the free kick as it'll come short. Looking to get around the defender, Emig. Nice play, kick it with his left foot, and it'll go over everybody. Nice run by Eric Gilbert on the far side. For Illinois Wesleyan, Mark Street, who replaced the starting keeper Eric Eklund, is still in goal for the Titans. Carlo Fava, Colin Wraith, Drake Leary, Jared Casey, Dino Caras, Connor Allen, Colin Frost, David Myers, and Mitch Billimack on the field for the Titans. That's booted away by the left foot of Brad Yarwood. Emig not chasing after that one as it goes over the far sideline for an Illinois Wesleyan throw-in. In the first half, 9 shots for Illinois Wesleyan, 6 for Elmhurst. Both teams had 4 of them that were on goal, but 3 of Elmhurst's 4 shots on goal found the netting. Mike Emig scored the first goal. Now, this is an interesting opportunity for number 20, Connor Allen, but his pass attempt went well wide of his intended target. John Regel will be able to boot it away. So in the first half, Mike Emig scored off Michael DeLong's assist. DeLong ran through a couple of players and then passed it off to Emig, who was behind the defense. Had a shot that went off the hands of Eric Eklund, who stopped it momentarily, but it just kept rolling and rolling until it finally got into the back of the net. Then Brad Yarwood scored unassisted. He got a rebound. After a free kick came in from Kading, he got a head on the first shot in the initial attempt. His header went off the goalkeeper, and then he was able to put his own rebound home. That was in the 15th minute, just about a minute after Emig's goal. Here's another opportunity for Illinois Wesleyan. Left-footed shot, and Connor Allen had a great opportunity at the near post, but his opportunity goes high off the football upright. Check it out on the replay here. Nice play by the far side attacker, able to get a shot off, and then Connor Allen had it on his left foot. It just went a little too high. One of the better scoring opportunities for Illinois Wesleyan in this game. They've had a lot of traffic around the net, but just not the finishing touch to put it home. Andrew Moore pushed off the ball fairly vigorously by Drake Leary. Elmhurst with a quick restart, trying to catch Illinois Wesleyan off balance, talking with the official, but it was a nice play by the defense to keep it away. Then we talked about Emig's goal, talked about Yarwood's goal, but how about Christian Mullen scoring his second goal of the season, 28th minute, about 13 minutes after the second goal and just 15 minutes after the first goal. Took a shot from 15 yards out after a cross came through the box. And another opportunity for Allen. Allen takes a shot that's blocked. Jared Casey lost the ball eventually to a defender. Emig looking to get behind the defender, but Leary did a nice job of of keeping that one away from a potential scoring opportunity for Mike Emig. Jeff Kading's long throw. Looking for DeLong, couldn't quite find him. Now Illinois Wesleyan with a couple of attackers heading forward. That ball was intended for Dino Karas, but it ended up finding the awaiting arms of John Regland instead. Regland well off his line to make that play. About 5 minutes into this first half, couple of good opportunities for Illinois Wesleyan, but still have been unable to cash in as Regland's kept him out of the net. Illinois Wesleyan actually in the early going had a great opportunity to go up 1-0. Took a shot from close range, did one of the attackers, and John Regland made to make a sprawling save to keep Illinois Wesleyan out of the net on that one. That was Colin Wraith who was the one who took that shot. It was in about the 10th or 11th minute when that happened, just 2 minutes before Elmhurst's barrage of goals. Blue Jays and Titans playing in all sorts of sports today. The Elmhurst football team was down in Bloomington and got a 29-28 win there, as this is Emig down the far sideline. Emig with a head of steam. Has Josh Rudd and some other help in DeLong. DeLong calling for it, hoping that Emig would return the favor, but Emig couldn't quite find him, and instead it will be a Blue Jay corner. Substitution coming in for the Blue Jays. Andrew Moore is going to head out. It is Jordan Fletcher who is replacing him, and now Brett Stifler's corner will come from the far corner flag. It's hit short toward Jeff Kading. Kading with lots of time. Now takes a shot that rips and deflects, and then is it a goal? No, it is not, says the official. No, yes, it is. And we're going to stop the clock, and it is a goal. The official is going to talk to they're going to talk about it, so hold on, not quite yet. Are we going to put that up on the scoreboard? No goal, says the official. So looking on the replay, here's the shot from Fletcher. It doesn't look like it is so close. I am going to have to agree with the official, but it was actually one of the Illinois Wesleyan defenders who came by as that ball went off the hands of Mark Street, the second time that a shot has gone off the hands of an Illinois Wesleyan goalkeeper and dribbled towards the net. But one of the Illinois Wesleyan defenders came from the near side and was able to sweep that off the line just barely. And now, here comes the scoring opportunity for the Titans. But it's cleared away nicely by Brad Yarwood. So I think the initial signal was from the official was indeed no goal, as he was pointing for a goal kick, although wasn't quite sure. But either way, got to talk with the near side official and was able to get the call right. Mullen's clearing attempt was not very convincing as he waited for that ball to get to him, but then Regland was able to stop the chaos. As the throw-in came in, they're able to find a shot, but Mullen just didn't quite get to the ball in time. But he was able to deflect the shot, and Regland was able to scoop it up and keep possession for the Blue Jays. Now, that went right off of Dino Karas, who couldn't believe it actually touched him. Yeah, certainly didn't want to walk into that one, as that one would have been an Illinois Wesleyan throw-in instead, but either way, the Titans now have possession now. That was Karas. Passing it forward for Casey. Now back to the far side, Eric Gilbert. Battling with Jordan Fletcher. Cutting towards the near side, has his pass picked off by Jeff Kading. And Witzowski pushes his opponent off the ball, and that's going to be a foul. Witzowski on Gilbert. Chance for Drake Leary to put one into the box. They've had a couple of good opportunities off free kicks, have the Titans. 3-0, Elmhurst leading. It's about 10 minutes into the second half. Here's Leary's free kick. It's dangerously looping. Reglan punches it away. Nice play by John Reglan. That's headed away once again by the Blue Jays, and now DeLong sprinting for Emig, but Emig's offside. Emig did indeed have a step on his defender as the pass was delivered by DeLong. DeLong and Emig don't believe it, but believe Emig was indeed a step or a step and a half offside. Good call by the official on the near side. Here's Leary with lots of space, running all the way down. Leaving it for his teammate was Karas, but nobody was there. And now, another opportunity on a counterattack for the Blue Jays. Emig sprinting with a couple of defenders. That ball is going to go over the sideline, and Emig will hang out, waiting for his teammates to show up, and he'll let Jeff Kading be the one to take this throw in, perhaps throwing it all the way into the box and into a dangerous area towards the goal. Kading short for Stifler. Stifler by the corner flag, and Illinois Wesleyan will concede a second consecutive corner. Kading taking his time for this one, allowing the Blue Jays to organize in the box. Long throw comes in. Yarwood tried to get a left foot on it, but could not do so. Now Illinois Wesleyan looking for a counter. Eric Gilbert sprinting up the far sideline. Gilbert's pass going to be picked off by Christian Mullen. It was intended for Connor Allen. Mullen still with it. Still getting around defenders. Now eventually loses it, but Mullen's now got to get back into his defensive position. Eric Gilbert cutting to the inside, but his pass is well behind his intended target. And then teammate helps him out as Fava pushing Rudd off the ball and then called for the foul. Fava battling with Rudd. Fava pulled a little swim move on Rudd, and that's where the foul was called. So with just under 33 minutes to play, Reglan will boot it away with his team still on top 3-0. Blue Jays come into this contest with 3 consecutive shutouts. A 4th consecutive shutout would match the season high for the Blue Jays in terms of consecutive shutouts. They had 4 in a row during September, mid to late September, when they shut out Dominican in a tie, then won 3 straight over LaGrange, Oglethorpe, and Olivet. This one is going to be flicked all the way to Reglan. Putting pressure was Dino Karas. High in the air is that kick from Reglan. Traveled about 70 yards in the air. Stifler loses the ball, but Scott Johnson will have a chance to throw it in from the near side. Stifler calling for it. Instead, it's going to go to Josh Rudd. Rudd took a swing at it, but missed it. 3 shutouts in a row for John Reglan in the Blue Jay defense. Matches their second highest total of the season. Here's Josh Rudd on the near side. Rudd hitting it towards the far post. It was intended for Fletcher. Now Emig takes a shot and he scores. Mike Emig with his second goal of the game as he comes to celebrate with the Blue Jay fans. 4-0 Elmhurst as we check it out on the replay. It was a good ball for Rudd. Rudd just hit it into a dangerous area. It went off the head of Fletcher and then right to the awaiting foot of Mike Emig. And Emig scores his second goal of the game. It's 4-0 Blue Jays and 4 goals matches the Blue Jays' highest output on the season. Blue Jays controlling now after Emick's second strike of the game. This is a long ball for Scott Johnson if he can get there. No, not quite. Good idea by Mullen trying to spring Johnson down the near sideline once again, perhaps running a similar play to the one they just ran. But now the Blue Jays even more comfortably ahead 4-0, and Fletcher just picked off that pass but couldn't quite control it. If he does, he's got Emick right in the middle. Emick looking for the hat trick. Now 15 minutes into this second half now. That's Emick's 5th goal on the season.
Elmhurst goal, his second of the day, scored by number 11, Mike Emmig. Assisted by number 30, Josh Rudd.
And Emick's 5th goal of the season ties him for the Elmhurst team lead. Jordan Fletcher smartly plays it back to his defense, but a couple of passes go awry, and it'll eventually end up at Yarwood's feet. Check that was Kading on the far side. That's Yarwood. He hits it up towards Stifler. Mullen's clearing attempt isn't quite convincing, but it ends up getting to the feet of Stifler, and then it'll be cleared upfield by Christian Mullen. Jordan Fletcher battling with his opposing number 18, Mitch Billimack. Billimack will flip it up to the far side, and here's an interesting opportunity for Wesleyan. Gilbert. And the save is made by John Regland just off the end of his fingertips. Gilbert makes a nice run, as we see on the replay down the far side, then makes a couple of turns, and then eventually take a shot with his right foot. That even if Regland doesn't get a hand on that, may just squirt across the face of goal, but a nice play by Regland nonetheless, using his fingertips to make that save. Here's Emmig looking for a hat trick. Emmig cutting to the inside, now looking for the backheel pass. It wasn't there, but the ball does eventually get to his intended target, Josh Rudd. Rudd playing back for Johnson. Back to Rudd once again. He's got Stifler down the near side. He's going to lift it to the far side instead, and Fletcher, but it overshoots him just barely. Fletcher around his defender but couldn't keep possession. And Illinois Wesleyan chips it forward, conceding a Blue Jay throw. Emick fell down on that attempt, and Mark Street, I believe, will have a chance. Now it's going to be one of his defenders that boots it away. Josh Rudd playing back for his defense, and Brad Yarwood. Here's Rudd in the middle of the field, playing the midfield role, now given off to Brett Stifler. Stifler up the near sideline for Johnson. Can he keep it in play? Yes, he can. Nice play by Johnson, but then he's pushed off the ball violently. No foul called. It has been a physical game. That was one heck of a shoulder check there, and a shoulder shimmy, I should say, by Colin Frost. Oh, and off of Mitch Billimack, and it'll be another throw-in, this time for Scott Johnson. Emmett calling to his teammates, I believe, to calm down a little bit. It's gotten very physical in this game. You don't want to do anything rash that would cause any sort of harm for the Blue Jays. Josh Rudd keeping possession by passing it back to Christian Mullen. He finds Michael DeLong. Elmhurst really running their offense through DeLong today, now to the far side. Lots of open space, cutting to his left and then kicking with his left foot across the face of goal, but unable to get it into an interesting scoring opportunity. It's Andrew Moore battling, and then eventually it's cleared away by Illinois Wesleyan. Mullen keeping possession in Elmhurst half, but couldn't do so for very long, and now Illinois Wesleyan will have 2 subs coming in. Colin Wraith, number 5, heads out, as does Dino Karas. It's going to be Alex White, number 14, and Jared Krebs, number 8, coming into the game for the Titans. Corner kick now coming for Alex White. Alex White hits one towards the near post, and it's swept away nicely by Josh Rudd. Here's Scott Johnson. He couldn't quite control it. So instead, the Titans will have another chance at a throw, and it's going to be the substitute Jared Krebs coming over to take it. Krebs looking for John Pisani. And now here's Krebs again with a throw in a little further down the field. This one looks like a longer run up and a longer throw towards the box. Ragland directing traffic. It's headed on by the Titans. Runs dangerously across goal and then cleared by Michael DeLong. Drake Leary giving it off. Here's Fava. Fava with lots of space. Blue Jay defense giving him space. Fava tried to get it past his defender to his right, but instead it'll go over the end line, and John Ragland will have a corner kick, or excuse me, make that a goal kick after this substitution. It's going to be Christian Mullen heading out. One of the few times I've ever seen him substituted for on the season, and it'll be Derek Dedman coming in for the Blue Jays. 4-0 lead, giving Christian Mullen some rest here. Clock restarted, 24 minutes to play in regulation. 4-0 Blue Jays. Titans once again looking for that finishing touch to score for the first time today. Instead it's DeLong, and now it's a 2-on-3 with DeLong and Emig. Emig now with possession on the far sideline. He has DeLong, he has Rudd. DeLong now has it. Emig getting around his defender. Emig putting a cross towards across goal that is picked up by Johnson, who takes a long shot that is well left. So after that shot went awry, one of the Titan defenders will get us back underway. Josh Rudd able to get on the other end of that one, but just popped it straight in the air. Fletcher battling for it, but Witzowski wins it after the Titans try to clear again. Colin Wraith on the far side loses it to Jordan Fletcher and the Blue Jays. As it looks like the Elmhurst football team, fresh off their 1-point victory in Bloomington, has just arrived. See the buses in the right part of your screen. Throw in comes in looking for DeLong, but unable to get it there. The Blue Jays will have another shot at it here from the right side of the Blue Jay bench. Long run up and a fake, and now a long run up and the throw. Headed away by Jimmy Connolly and then flicked into the air. It's going to be the keeper to make that play. And he will just boot away with his left foot here. It is Mark Street with his left foot. Here's Mike Emig. Emig with an opportunity. Has DeLong behind him, but will try to get around the defender himself and will have it cleared away. Huge collision on the far side, and they're going to call the foul on Emig as he just drove his shoulder into the Illinois Wesleyan defender. Emig thought it was a 50-50 ball that he had won, but he did not. Now the Titans controlling. Colin Wraith on the far side kicks it off of Brad Yarwood and over the far sideline. This one will dribble all the way over the end line, and John Reglin will have another chance to move this one away. Just over 21 minutes to play, still 4-0 Elmhurst. Elmhurst with a win here will move to 3-1-1 in the conference. Sole possession of third place, one game ahead of Augustana, who's 2-2-1. Elmhurst and Augustana, the only two teams to draw in conference play. They did so right here at Langhorse Field just a couple weeks ago. Wheaton North Park, top of the conference, tied at 4-1. North Central and Carthage tied at 2-3, just behind the Vikings and the Blue Jays, and then Milliken at 1-3 and Illinois Wesleyan at 1-4. That ball was dangerously across the face of goal, but cleared away by the Blue Jays. Here's Mike Emig once again. Whenever Emig has the ball, always got to look out for his speed for sure. And now DeLong and Emig and Rudd, all three of them. That ball is going for Emig, but it's going to be played well by Mark Streed, who kicks it away. Derek Dedman with Mullen out. Dedman having to play the last line of defense type defensive role that Mullen plays so well. He did a good job there, keeping Illinois Wesleyan away from a scoring opportunity. There's Dedman once again winning the ball, playing it to Stifler, then finds Witzowski. Witzowski tries to clear, but gets run into by a Titan. Illinois Wesleyan looking to get on the board. That one is going to go well wide, however. Jared Krebs was the one who had possession, tried to get his left foot, put it on the face of goal instead. John Reglin didn't even have to move and will instead just kick it away with this one. Stifler and Rudd playing a give and go. Taken away by the Titans, but ever so briefly. Illinois Wesleyan fans cheering their team on, trying to get them to make this a game once again. Under 20 minutes to play now. If you look ahead at the CCIW schedule, a couple of very interesting games for the Blue Jays coming up. On Tuesday, Elmhurst travels to North Park in what will be a critical CCIW contest for seeding. The winner of that almost assuredly will take the number 2 seed and a chance to host, and perhaps a rematch with those two teams, as down goes Colin Wraith, taken down by an Elmhurst defender, and Illinois Wesleyan will have another very dangerous free kick from just about 25 yards out. But then Elmhurst, after playing North Park next Tuesday, will come back here to Langhorse Field next Saturday, and they'll play Carthage in what will surely be a tough game for the Blue Jays after losing to Carthage twice last year, the only team they lost to in conference play last year. First kick is taken, and it is not even close. Well, high and wide. So, 25-yard free kick attempt is blasted way over the goal, and John Reglin will once again have an opportunity. Just So Rudd and Fletcher will sit now. Couple of new bodies in for the Blue Jays, including John Carter, number 29. Carter playing in just his 8th contest of the season. Yarwood battling, and Andrew Moore couldn't quite get to that ball, but Stifler will control towards the Blue Jay defense. Stifler playing well behind his usual attacking midfielder role, but with a 4-0 lead, just kind of parking the bus behind the Illinois Wesleyan defense, and that's Reglan coming out. Nice play by him. Reglan coming off his line and out of his box to get rid of that one and prevent another Illinois Wesleyan scoring opportunity. Just 2 CCIW dates left in terms of CCIW contests. Check that. I said Tuesday. I meant Wednesday. Elmhurst goes to North Park. Augustana travels to Wheaton. Augustana just pulled the upset of North Park. We'll try to do the same thing against Wheaton, although that will be certainly a very tall task to be the 2 top teams in the CCIW in back-to-back games. Milliken will head to North Central also on Wednesday. Then Saturday, everything will be solidified. CCIW tournament will be played that next week. North Central travels to Illinois Wesleyan. Augustana travels to Milliken. Elmhurst hosts Carthage right here at Langhorse Field. And Wheaton and North Park. And will be a very interesting game, final day of the regular season. Keeper change for the Blue Jays. Nathaniel Power comes in, replacing John Reglan. So Reglan will not get credit for a shutout on his own, but perhaps he can combine for another shutout with Power. They've already combined for 2 thus far this season. 10 total shutouts for the Blue Jays. Only giving up 6 goals all season. Yarwood's sprinting to back to defend, and he'll just concede a throw-in as he didn't have any options to pass to. Trying to make a couple of moves on the far side was Colin Wraith, and instead, ball is wrapped away and convincingly cleared by the Blue Jays. Here's John Carter. Can Carter get to this one? No. It's well played by the Titan defense. And Andrew Moore just clears it forward. Under 14 minutes to play, Elmhurst just content to keep the ball in Illinois Wesleyan's half and content to keep possession if necessary. So certainly will be a very good finish to the CCIW schedule. Now with that upset North Park and Wheaton, it kind of matches the upset that happened earlier in the season when Carthage defeated Wheaton 1-0. Now nobody undefeated in the CCIW in men's soccer. But the seeding, essentially the top 3 teams, barring something catastrophic, are pretty much solidified. They just don't know where they will be seated, who will get to host a conference tournament game, and who will get home field advantage throughout the conference tournament. But it most likely will be Wheaton, North Park, and Elmhurst as the top 3 teams. A lot will hinge on when Elmhurst travels to North Park on Wednesday, and then when Wheaton travels to North Park as well on Saturday. North Park getting the advantage of hosting both of those key conference games in the last week of the season, although having to play them back-to-back is surely not something that they're completely thrilled about, I'm sure. But being able to host them will certainly be a distinct advantage. Eric Gilbert with a nice move to get around his defender. It's Jimmy Connolly trying to spring John Pisani. Pisani's going to get there. The ball is going to be dangerously across into the box and then cleared away by Derek Dedman. And now we'll have 3 Illinois Wesleyan substitutions. Connolly will head out. Moorfield will head out. And I believe Pisani as well. Bunch of new bodies in there for the Titans. This one controlled just outside of the box, then played back for Drake Leary. Leary looking to get it back into the box, and it's instead just pinballed around a bunch of times. Still not controlled by a team now, the Blue Jays. And then the Titans take it right back. Colin Wraith on the far side. Drake Leary cutting in the inside, but Witzowski was right there to take it away. Neither team really holding possession here. It's just been pinballing around a bunch of players. Now it's finally cleared into the box. Power will not come out to get it. Instead, he will let his defender, John Carter, help him out. Now back across the face of goal. Will Illinois Wesleyan be able to get a shot off? No, it's cleared by Michael DeLong. Titans actually have the advantage in shots, 11-9. However, Elmhurst has 6 shots on goal to Illinois Wesleyan's 5. Couple more substitutions. Garnett is out for the Blue Jays. Garrett Rudolph, number 13, into the game. Seeing just his 4th game of the season. Rudolph, a freshman, 5'10", 160-pound midfielder from Covington, Washington in Kenwood High School. Corners also the advantage to Illinois Wesleyan in this game. 5 corners to 3. That ball was lofted into the box but defended well by Wesleyan, who will now try to get a counterattack going. Limited nicely by Andrew Moore, who got ahead on the potential over-the-head pass. Looked like there was a little hold there, but play on, says the referee, as Connor Allen continues to play. Alex White on the near side, passing it off. Spinard looking for Allen. Will Allen get there in time? No, he will not. No, he will not. Spinard instead grabs the ball and tries to hand it to Nathaniel Power to try to speed him up a little bit, but with just under 9 minutes to play, Power is in no hurry. Couple more substitutions for Illinois Wesleyan. Mitch Billimack and Alex White, as well as Colin Wraith, all head out for the Titans. And it seems that both teams have taken many of their starters out. Another Blue Jay on the field I see is David Bez, freshman from Okemos, Michigan. 6th game he's seen action in thus far this season. There's a chance in. The shutout is gone as Illinois Wesleyan scores. Pass got in behind the defense, and Dino Karas is the one to score. Very good ball there to find Karas in some open space. No chance for Nathaniel Power as that ball beat him low into his left. So the shutout is no more, but Elmhurst still leads 4-1 as Illinois Wesleyan is on the board in this contest. Second goal of the season for Karas. He also has 2 assists for a total of 6 points, and you had to think it was a matter of time before Illinois Wesleyan did get on the board, as they had plenty of scoring opportunities all throughout this game. That's another substitution. Kevin Eisler, who's in the game, who knocks down one of the Illinois Wesleyan players. Jared Krebs will be the one to take this free kick. Lots of Titans in the box, mixed in with a bunch of white shirts as well. Bouncing up in the air is the ball, still in the air, and now eventually brought down and cleared away towards the far side by the Blue Jay defense. This ball lifted back into the box. Won by the Blue Jays. Ben Swanson-Ralph passing off for John Carter. Carter will just boot it forward, hoping that it'll stop near the corner flag, and he did a great job of it. Swanson Ralph got there first, and Illinois Wesleyan had to concede a corner, or excuse me, make that a throw-in. It went to the left of the corner flag, staying over the sideline, as Andrew Moore will run from his left back position, one of the few starters left in the game for the Blue Jays. Just him and Andrew Witzowski are the two starters still in the game for the Blue Jays. Andrew Moore playing short to Witzowski. The Andrews playing pass back with each other, and now Moore will sprint in, and now will just go back over towards the corner flag. Moore fell down, still battling with his opposing number 3, I believe. And it's eventually won on a throw-in by Illinois Wesleyan. Actually, scratch that, make that a foul call, and Illinois Wesleyan will boot it away. And we're stopping the clock, as it looks like Andrew Moore will need to be attended to by the training staff. He's stretching on the far side. Joe Mattingly, athletic trainer at Elmhurst, heading over. Looked like Moore just slapped the ground, perhaps not very happy. Something happened. He's most likely going to be substituted for, and he will. It looks like Josh Rudd will re-enter the game as Moore gets attended to. The clock stopped with exactly 6 minutes to play. Blue Jays leading 4-1. Now Rudd will come in, play right mid, and put Kevin Eisler back on the defensive line, playing left back where Andrew Moore was playing. And it looks like Moore will sit for the rest of this contest as Rudd is back in. Rudd was pressuring there, but Illinois Wesleyan does well. Connor Allen. Titans still pushing forward, looking for another goal. So officially, Dino Karas on the goal for Illinois Wesleyan. That happened just a couple minutes ago in the 82nd minute. Robert Spinard is credited with the assist. Witzowski trying to play that to himself, but could not do so. As the Titans push forward, just under 5 minutes to play, looking for their second goal of the game. That's cleared away, but not very convincingly, and then Rudolph does so a little bit more convincingly. Swanson Ralph trying to head off for John Carter, but the header was just behind him, and Rudolph ends up being the one receiving the Wesleyan clearing attempt. So other scores around the CCIW today. In case you weren't tuned in to the beginning of our broadcast, North Park loses at Augustana in what was a very big upset in the CCIW, propelling Augustana to a fourth place position in the conference at 2-2-1, and sending North Park back to a tie for first with Wheaton. Wheaton, speaking of the Thunder, were victorious on the road in Naperville, 5-1. The Thunder victorious in that one. This is John Carter passing off for Josh Rudd. Rudd trying to get around his defender, cannot do so, and instead will concede. Goal kick for the Titans. Later tonight, Milliken at Carthage at 7 o'clock. That's going to be a big game for both those two schools as well as Augustana, because Carthage sitting at 2-3. If Carthage wins that game, they will tie for fourth place with Augustana. They would have a 3-3 record. Augustana 2-2-1. Both of them would be 500 in conference play. With the win here, the Blue Jays will move a full game ahead of Augustana in third place. And it will just be a half game, one in the win column behind the two top teams in the conference, Wheaton and North Park. Ticking under 3 minutes to play. Blue Jays still with a healthy 3-goal cushion. Here's John Carter spinning around and finding Josh Rudd. Rudd looking to the far side, completes his pass. Threaded it in there. On the far side, Kevin Eisler couldn't quite keep possession, but it will be a corner kick, and Andrew Witzowski will take one of his first corner kicks of the season from the far corner flag. Witzowski with his stronger right foot. Lots of Blue Jays hanging out on this side of the box near the far post. Now running in towards the near post. The ball goes to the far post. It's headed down by Scott Johnson, but it was well wide. See on the replay, Witzowski's corner. Scott Johnson coming into the far post. Skips around his defender as the defender whiffed on his header. It was very high kick that got over his head. Johnson's header, not well wide, but certainly not too much of a worry for Mark Streed, Illinois Wesleyan substitute goalkeeper. Under a minute and a half to play, so a reminder, Wednesday Elmhurst travels to North Park in what will be a critical game, both for seeding and for CCIW tournament implications. The winner of that game will clinch a berth in the CCIW tournament. And the winner of that game also, almost assuredly, of hosting a CCIW tournament game sometime the week after. And then, after that, we'll have one more regular season broadcast of Elmhurst men's soccer. It'll be next Saturday as Elmhurst hosts North Park on Senior Day. Blue Jays will have a couple seniors being honored, including Christian Mullen and John Reglin, who have teamed in the defense for the Blue Jays for many years. So we're ticking under 30 seconds to go now. Whistle and an offsides call by the FAR official. Under 20 to go and under 15. The Blue Jays are going to get out of here with a 4-0 victory, move to 10-3-3 overall and 3-1-1 in CCIW play. Third in the conference. It's a nice win for the Blue Jays here. Scoring 4 unanswered goals before Illinois Wesleyan found the net late in the second half. As the final seconds tick away. And there's the horn, and it sounds, and the Blue Jays are victorious. Mike Emig scored first off a Michael DeLong assist in the 14th minute. In the 15th minute, it was Brad Yarwood unassisted. 28th minute, Christian Mullen off another assist from Michael DeLong, and then Mike Emig made it 2 goals on the day with an assist from Josh Rudd in the 56th minute. IWU got on the board. Dino Cara scored from a Robert Spinard assist in the 82nd minute.
On Saturday, November 1st, when the Blue Jays host Carthage College at 7:30.
Reminder that our next broadcast, Carthage College traveling here to play Elmhurst in what will surely be a very important game for CCIW tournament implications. I'd like to thank everybody who contributed to the broadcast, Phil Petrusig, Greg Rassol, and Kevin Jude. I'm Luke Tanaka signing off from Langhorse Field. Your final score, Elmhurst 4, Illinois Wesleyan 1.